Hey guys, welcome back to Just a Geek in the Garage. Today I want to talk about something a little bit different than I normally talk about, although definitely it does have applications, in the garage or if you're working on things. And it's this a torch here by a company called Lamson that I've never heard of. But basically, for me, it looks like a ripoff of Hacksmith. I'm not sure if you guys are familiar, but kind of my title, Geek in the Garage. One of my favorite things is Star Wars, and lightsabers within that. And Hacksmith kind of made their own real lightsaber that burns through things almost like a real one, and they made a small version kind of for resale to consumers, but I believe it's around $100 or so. Looks somewhat similar to this. I mean, it has definitely better design elements, but this one was on sale on Amazon for about 16-17 bucks. I saw on another YouTuber's channel. I think he said it was around $25, but I think it was a different brand. But either way, there's a ton of these when you search torch lightsaber on Amazon, and they usually range anywhere from about 17 to maybe 30 bucks or so, but they all appear to be the same exact design, so they probably come out of the same factory, is my guess. So if you're anything like me, you've always wanted a quote unquote real lightsaber, but I know things like this have existed for a long time. It's just packaged a little bit differently. People will use these things in like baking desserts like creme brulee. You can probably use it in some automotive applications, barbecuing, things like that. Most often you're going to use something either like a little blowtorch like this that you can get from Harbor Freight, or if you really need a lot of put a lot of heat on, say maybe a fastener, stuck bolt, whatever, you're just going to use either some propane or maybe some MAP gas, which is a simple attachment like this. But what I was surprised is the heat output appears, and this is just from visual inspection, on this one is almost the same as this guy, but this is just using just regular butane versus propane, and you can probably get into much smaller places with something like this. Now, honestly, that's not really the reason I bought this thing. I just kind of bought it for its, I guess, cool factor, just to see if it actually does what it's supposed to do. And I'm going to turn off the lights here in a second just to kind of show you, what the flame kind of looks like on something like this versus some other ones. But, for me, for applications for heat, usually in the garage is going to be more things like for a heat shrink. And for something like that, in the past, I used to use this Bluepoint butane soldering iron that comes with a bunch of different tips, has like a heat blowing tip, has a bunch of soldering tips, but sadly this thing just kind of died on me a few years back, and it does not have a lifetime warranty, so I was never able to get it replaced. But when I went to go looking for a new one, I searched Amazon. I found this guy right here from a brand I'd never heard of, LEXIVON, although I have seen this brand on a few other people's channels, but on different tools, but never this one specifically. But then again, I haven't searched for this one. But basically, it's just it's your classic butane soldering iron. Right now it has kind of the heat blower tip on there, but it comes with this a bunch of different tips that you can use. Comes with some solder, comes with the wrenches you need for adjustment, things like that. So it comes in a nice case that you can take with you, or you can take that foam out and just kind of put it in your toolbox. This kind of lives in my, the bad day drawer, along with, my tap and dies and things like that, just in case I need, to put some heat on something, or I need to solder something that's not, near me. But again, just kind of wanted to show this off to you guys. Again, a little bit different from what I normally show on the channel, but hey, maybe some of you guys will find this thing useful. So I'm going to go ahead and turn off the lights just so you can kind of see this side by side, and then give me 1 second. I'll be right back. All right, guys. So most of the lights are off in the garage except for my under lighting here for my box. So let's see if we can kind of see what this looks like. Let's turn off the safety, and there we go. So I mean, this thing is pretty crazy. I mean, the flame, looks exactly the same in person as it does on camera, and it's about maybe 3/4 the size of the entire thing itself. Let me kind of show you the propane, just in comparison, just so you guys can kind of see what I was talking about. So let me turn that on real quick. Give me 1 second here. So here's the propane, and here's this guy. So I mean, it is pretty crazy comparison when you're kind of looking at the two. I mean, the propane definitely is probably going to burn a little bit hotter, but for what you're getting in such a compact package is pretty awesome. I'm going to turn them off here real quick. But again, something like this, especially for 16, 17 bucks, I mean, for me personally, even if I never use it on an actual application, just to kind of have it is pretty cool. I haven't played around with this enough, but I believe these things right here are replaceable, so I can have either a red flame or a blue flame, depending on that chemical interaction. So tell me, guys, what do you think of this? Is this something that you would buy? Would you stick with the normal, MAP gas or propane? Or is it something you just buy just to kind of have in your collection? So again, just something I thought was kind of cool that some of you out there might enjoy. Please leave comments down below. Thank you guys for watching. Please like and subscribe. Alright guys, just kind of as a PS here, so the ring that you see here right in the middle, this is the ring that's kind of pre-installed in the middle of this right here, and this is what gives it the red color. If you simply take that off, you have the same exact kind of flame, but in blue. So you get to choose, is it blue or red? So I just want to kind of add this in here. I know I'd already said, please like and subscribe, all that kind of good stuff, but here you go, just a little added piece to this video. That shows exactly what you have to do to change it. And then one thing also is you do have the adjustment. I didn't realize there was an adjustment right here where you basically do this and then you can adjust the size of the flame as well. So before it's just kind of on the maximum. So again, thank you guys for watching. Please like and subscribe.